Hi everyone, my name is Rutuja and welcome back to our channel. So till now I have covered pivot table, conditional formatting and function topics from the Excel. Now I'll try to cover the next topic, which is Power Pivot, because it's a powerful data modeling and analysis tool. It also allows the users to import, manipulate and analyze the large datasets from the various sources. The main importance of Power Pivot is that it handles the large amount of data. It allows us to have advanced data modeling, efficient data processing, and to create the interactive reports. So the Power Pivot includes these main key features, which are data modeling, DAX, KPI, and pivot tables and charts. So when it comes to the data modeling, it includes tables to organize our data and the relationships to connect the related data within these different tables. So this slide gives us a glance on this data modeling. The next one is DAX, and DAX is a formula language used in Power Pivot to create custom calculations and aggregations. In DAX, we have measures, and those are the calculations created using DAX that are meant for aggregation, such as sum, average, count, and so on. So the next one is KPI, and Power Pivot enables the creation of KPIs to measure the performance against a target. So a KPI typically includes a base value, which is nothing but a measure, a target value, and a status indicator to show whether the performance is on track or not. Last but not the least is pivot tables and charts. It allows the users to summarize, analyze, and explore the data interactively. So when combined with the Power Pivot, they become even more powerful and enable us to have the analysis of large data sets with the complex calculations. So now let's move on to the practical part. So these are three data files which are in Excel, which are namely customer, credit card, and account number. So I'll be using all these three Excel sheet in Power Pivot. Then I'll be creating relationships in between these three files, and then I'll create pivot charts, then pivot tables, and I'll try to analyze the data in this which is present in this Excel sheet. So basically, right now these three tables or three data sheets represent the information of individuals. Those are like customers, their credit card information and their respective monthly transactions of that credit card, then the last product bought by that customer and its respective transaction ID. So let's move on to our analysis part, and we'll move ahead with the Excel sheet now. So I have opened one blank Excel sheet right now, and I have Power Pivot option over here, which is already available. But what happens is like it will not be available in your Excel sheet. So you need to add those add-ons in your Excel sheet. So what you will do going forward is like go to the file, then more, and in more you will get the option of options. Then this pop-up will come out. Then go to the add-ins, and in add-ins you will get Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel. You will just need to select that, and if you will select the type of that, it's com add-in. So just come down, and in the manage you will select com add-ins, and then you will click on go. So once you will click on go, you will get Power Pivot option over there, and then make sure it is enabled, and if it is not, then just tick mark it and then just click on OK. So once you will click on OK, then if you don't have this option over here of Power Pivot, it will get enabled for you. So in Power Pivot, we will get the option of manage, measures, KPI, and data model. So in the initial part of this video, I have explained what are those exactly. So I'll just move ahead with the practical part. So I'll click on manage. So once you will click on manage, one Power Pivot for Excel will get opened for that respective Excel sheet, and it will be blank. So in this Excel sheet or in this Power Pivot, you will get the option to fetch the data from various sources. Like you can fetch the data from database like SQL Server, or you can fetch the data from any data service like OData, or else you can fetch from other sources. So right now what we are going to do, we will be fetching that data from other sources, which is Excel. So just come, I'll scroll down here. We will get the option of Excel. Then just click on next. So once you will click on next, then you will browse that file path. So I'll fetch all these data files from here. So first I'll go with the customer. Then I'll check use first row as the headers. Click on next. Once you will click on next, you will get the option of preview and filter also over here. So you can check your data from here. And suppose if you don't want any column for the analysis, then you can simply remove it out by just unchecking it. So right now I need all these data columns from here. So I'll just click on OK and then click on finish. Once you will click on finish, then that respective Excel sheet data will get fetched in this Power Pivot for the analysis. So it will show success message, and then click on close. So right now I have one data sheet over here right now. So similarly, I'll fetch remaining two Excel sheets from there. So again, click on Excel file, next. Then next I'll pull credit card Excel sheet, row as a column, then click on next, finish. Then I'll just close it out. So the next data will get pulled over here. So for the simplicity, I'll just change the name of this Excel sheet to credit card, enter. Then again I'll go to the other sources, Excel file, next. Then the third Excel file, which was account number, open, next, finish. And then close it out. I'll just change the name again for the simplicity. So right now we have all these three Excel sheets fetched into our Power Pivot. So in Power Pivot, I have these three views. So the above view is nothing but a data view. The below area or the portion is the calculation area. So this option is enabled right now. If I'll disable it, then that area will be gone. But in future, further, like I need to calculate measures and KPIs over here. So I'll be needing this calculation area. So I'll just keep this option enabled right now. So the next option over here is a diagram view. So in diagram view, you will get all these three tables represented over here, and I just need to create relationships in these three tables. So from credit card to account number, I'll create one relationship for the credit card column. So once I'll create this relationship, it will show that it has a relation of star to one, that is many to one. So in the customer and credit card also, I need to create a relationship. So in this, I'll have the relationship for the email IDs. So I'll just drag this email from credit card to customer over here, and it will again create the relationship. So from credit card table to customer table, it will have one to many relationship created. So once I'll create this relationship, again I'll go to the data view, and in data view now I'll be performing measures, and I'll be adding columns over here. So as we have created relationships between these three tables, so like data from another tables that must be interlinked with these entries. So we will try to check it out for that. So what I can do is like just in the add column, type equal to, and then you will use the function of related. Once you will get this function, it will automatically show the interlinked columns of that respective tables over here. So suppose for example, I want to check the transactions of respective customers over here, then I'll just click on number of transactions, close the parenthesis, and OK. Then once you will hit enter, it will show that respective transactions of that customer over here. So for the simplicity, I'll just change the name of this column to suppose customers transactions. I'll try to fetch two other columns also, which are necessary for our analysis. So the next column which I want to have is account number. So again, I'll have the related function and then account number and hit enter. I'll change the column name. So the next column which I want to have for my analysis is the credit card from another table. So again, I'll have this function related, and the credit card, it is available in the account number table. So I'll just click on that, close parenthesis, and enter. I'll change the name of that column. So now I got all these three columns which are like transactions, account number, and credit card of that particular customer. So the next option is to create a measure. So you can create a measure in two ways. So the first option is like you can in the calculation area, you can simply click equal to, and then you can have your respective function over here and write down your function. That's the one option you can have. Then the another option is like you go to the main Excel sheet here and you have measures option here, and you can create a new measure from here. So I'll create one measure over here, and then when I'll go to the pivot charts, I'll create measure from the Excel sheet and from this option. So what I'll do is like I'll go to the calculation area and then I'll click equal to, then count. So suppose I want to check like what's the count of total product bought in this Excel sheet. So right now I know because this data is very less, but what happens is like many times you will have millions of data and you need to have the analysis, or you need to count, or you need to check particular product or something. So you can have this count function over there. So in count I'll check the product bought option. So once you will click on OK, and once you will have any function over here, then it will automatically give you all the columns from all the tables over here, because all the tables are interlinked successfully. So I'll just close the parenthesis and OK. So once you will click on OK, it will take some time to give us the result, and it will show the result over here. So suppose measure 1 is not a convenient name to name. So what I'll do is like, suppose I'll name it as total purchased products. So I have created one measure, and that is named as total purchase products, and it will get useful, or like we might use it going forward in the pivot charts to create KPIs and all. Next one which we will check is about a pivot table. So we have this option under the home section, then pivot table, and in that you will have the option of pivot table, chart, and so on. So first I'll go with the pivot table. So once you will click on pivot table, it will give you the option of like either a new sheet or existing worksheet. So right now, suppose for example, I'll go with the existing worksheet and I'll select the location for the same, then click on OK. Once you will click on OK, on the left hand side you got pivot table option, and on the right hand side you got all the three tables present over here. So like earlier also in my earlier videos I have covered pivot table of this option, but in that what happens is like whatever data sheet you are fetching, that respective data sheet slash column, that only that option will get visible on the right hand side. But with power pivot what happened is like we have interlinked all these three tables, and now these three tables are visible over here, so that we can fetch the data from any of the table, and we can have the analysis for the same. Suppose for the first pivot table I want to check the total purchased product for the each customer. So what I'll do is like in the customer table I'll have the first name option, so I'll take it as rows, and the purchased product or product bots I'll take it as values. So by default it is showing us the count. So suppose if you want to change it to the sum or average, then you just need to go to value settings and change it from here. So right now it is showing like for that respective customer how much products he bought in the last month. So I'll just change the row labels to the customer names. So and the count of product bought to the total purchased products. So what I'll do, I'll just simply copy this and paste it over here so that I can have another pivot table here. So what I'll do is like I'll check for each customer how many transactions happened for that respective card in the last month, or that respective month. So what I'll do is like I'll keep first name as same, and in values what I'll do is like we have the option of total charts over here. So total transactions. So I have number of transactions option here. Okay, so by default it is giving me sum. So right now I have customer names and their respective total transactions over here. So I'll just change the name to total transactions. So now we have two pivot charts, I can say, sorry, pivot tables ready for our analysis. So now what I'll do is like I'll try to create some visualizations, simple visualizations for these two tables. So for that I'll go to pivot table analyze. Then we have the option of pivot charts over here. So suppose I'll select the first pivot table, then pivot charts, and I'll try to have suppose column chart for the same. Then I'll click on OK. Then it will show me that respective visualization for the same. So I can change the namings from here. From total, suppose I'll give total purchased products, and suppose if I want to display that respective count over there, then what I'll do, I'll just click on this plus sign, check that data tables option here. Okay, so now for that respective, I can say for that respective number, that sorry, for that respective customer name and that particular purchase product number, I have this chart ready. So for the next one, next pivot table, I'll try to have, for example, pie chart. Then I'll just click on this pie chart and OK. So I have this analysis. I'll just change the name from like total to transaction details. And I'll also enable the data labels. So we have filter also over here of the first name, and right now I have selected all the first names. So for example, I want to have the analysis for Bria only, then I'll just click on Bria and then I'll just click on OK. Or suppose I'll add one more name, Priya and Carly. Click on OK. Then it will give me the analysis for only those two customers. So we can have this filter also over here. So right now I'll just again just select all and click on OK. So right now I have these two pivot charts ready for our two pivot tables. So the next one is again measures. So I'll check this second option to create the measures. So click on measures and click on new measures. Once you will click on new measures, you will get this option over here. We have the table customer present over here. What should be the measure name? It's up to you. Suppose for example, I want to check the count of all the transactions happened in that complete month. Then I'll give the name as total transactions right now. So description maybe, and in the formula I'll type out the formula as sum. In sum I'll have again the customer and the customer transaction. I'll just simply select it equal to complete parenthesis. I'll just check the formula. It is showing like it has no errors. I'll just change the category to from general to number. Decimal places, I don't want decimal places, then it should be 0. Click on OK. Then I now have two measures over here, so it has got added over here. So I'll just simply first remove it. So what you can do, like if you want to check like how many measures you have created till now, or like how many are present in this Excel sheet, what you can do is like go to manage measures, and you will get all the measures over here. Suppose if you want to delete any measure, then simply select that measure and delete it. If you want to edit anything, then just simply select it and edit it. Whatever you want to edit, just edit that option and click on OK. So that measure will get automatically edited for the same. So now I have created the measure for total transactions. So now I'll try to use that transactions into KPI. So our next topic is KPI. So in KPI, just click on new KPI. So in the base field value, it will ask you like for which created measure you want to have that KPI. So right now I want to have the KPI for total transactions. So in that total transaction, you can either give measure or like define target value. We have one base value, target value, and then we need to set the threshold. But right now I don't want to have that target value as the another measure. So what I can do is like I can simply select absolute value and I can give that options over here. So suppose for example I have given the absolute value as 100. So what I'll do is like suppose if that value is below 35, then I'll set it as threshold as red. then 80, or maybe I'll change it to, okay, suppose I'll keep it as 80, and like whatever icon style you want to have, then you can select it and just simply click on OK. So once you will click on OK, so you have that KPIs, that KPIs got created. So in pivot chart fields under the customer, you will get that option of total transaction status. So I'll, from the total transaction, I'll again select the status and it will get displayed over here. So this is the KPI which is getting shown over here. So in the similar way, in the KPIs also we'll get new KPI, and if you want to check the already presented ones, then you can click on manage KPIs and you will get the present KPIs over here. So you can edit it if you want to change it out, like you can delete this KPI if you don't need it for the future analysis, or maybe you can create a new one. So right now I have transactions with like we have some customers with low threshold, or like they have less transactions, or they have bought less products from our company, and we have also that customers who are frequently coming to our store or company, and they are picking up the products and they are liking our company. So with these KPIs we can have the further analysis and we can check it out, or like we can present it to the business, and then business can take the decisions to increase the customers transaction, or like to change this KPI from red to maybe green. And for that, if they might set some missions, or like they can run some campaigns for the same, so that customer will visit the company frequently and bought the products for the same. If you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe, which will boost me to cover more important topics for you guys. Thank you so much.